Hey guys, welcome to Project Metal Music's YouTube channel with your host Elion, and we are here with Luke and Dylan from Godeth. So welcome guys.
Yeah.
So guys, could you introduce yourselves and what you do within the band?
Can I go first, Luke?
Alright, yeah. I'm Luke, I'm the lead guitarist from Godeth. Occasionally a little bit of backing vocals, but kind of left that behind now.
I'm Dylan. I'm the other guitarist, and also I'm brought it down. No, I do guitar and backing vocals as well, kind of. Mostly just the screamy stuff because I can't sing to save my life.
Cool. So let's dive into some questions. As kids, what were you listening to?
I've always been kind of into metal, so like my mum always used to play me like Nirvana and Slipknot and stuff. So I've always kind of liked it. Apart from for like a 3-month stage where I liked a lot of indie. Apart from that, it's mostly just been the same music. So yeah, that's my answer.
Cool.
Oh god. I was like massively into Michael Jackson as a kid, and then like my brother went to high school, got dead into metal, and then he just kind of revolutionised my life. I think I was sat there listening to like Michael Jackson's Thriller, and my brother showed me like Bullet for My Valentine, and then from there on it was just like a whirlwind of metal and discovery, and like going to gigs on a weekend.
Yeah, cool. So, who got you into music?
Okay. Probably my parents, I'd say. Again, yeah, because they've always been like into music. They always show me stuff. So yeah, I'd like to thank them for it. So thanks, Mum and Dad.
Yeah, for me, like my dad was always listening to something whilst he was driving. It wasn't always heavy, but sometimes it was. But then, like for like my more modern taste, I definitely got that from my my older brother.
Yeah. Who inspired you to become a musician? Was it a family member or a friend, or was it a band that you would listen to, or a specific musician?
Probably Metallica for me. Because like, well, my family like music. I'm like one of the people who plays it, apart from my uncle. So actually, I suppose he would have actually, because I always used to like watching him play guitar and stuff. You know, I got like a guitar when I was like in year 7, and went from there. Like, yeah, I always wanted to be like Kirk Hammett. So they're probably Metallica. So probably my biggest inspirations for getting into music.
I think we're about 10 years old, and my mum and dad came into my bedroom and are like, "You're getting a little bit fat. You've not really got any hobbies, so you're gonna take up guitar." So all right, and then like I went to like a metal show and like saw like the ladies there, and like I just thought I want to do what they're doing, and then that was that.
Yeah. Yeah. If any, what bands were you in before Godeth?
Well, it's actually quite funny because me and him were in a band called Original Sin, but at separate times because I got kicked out of it and he was my replacement. So we're both in called Original Sin. And in sixth form, I was in a rap crew called the Big Money Crew. So shout out to my Big Money Crew boys. So, yeah, so apart from that, just high school bands really. That never went anywhere. Just like a couple of shows.
I mean,
Luke's been in loads.
yeah, I think I was in like a Paramore tribute band in school, and then like I kind of ended up dropping out of that one for a bit. Had like about a 4-year gap from music to try and kind of get my adult life sorted, and then got back in with a band called Cyanide, like early 2016. Played with them for a bit, was in Original Sin, then went to a band called Versus the System, who were like kind of like grungy, and then joined Godeth when I got kicked out of that one.
Yeah. So let's get dive into some what Godeth's been up to. So what you've been up to, especially these last 2 years or so.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I don't know, 2 years or so. So, like, kind of, if I go back just a little further, so we played a gig February 2020, which was kind of like a headline gig at the Key Club, which is our like kind of one of the bigger independent venues that kind of promote our kind of music. So for us, we headlined the gig, had like this fantastic night, and then like the next month we're in lockdown. So then we were kind of sending each other riffs. Like we had enough material to learn, and we did kind of need a little bit of time off to kind of learn some of the material that we had written. So we kind of learnt that, and then did nothing until I think August, maybe August 2020, when we
I
managed
think
to
so.
get on
Yeah.
Mass Records. Then one of our other local Leeds venues, Temple of Boom, they were kind of on the brink of like financial collapse, like I'm sure a lot of venues were. So they were doing like kind of pay £200 and we'll record your set list and you'll have this video that you can then show to your fans. So we did that. I ended up dressing up as a granny to promote it. Yeah, that's amazing. And then I don't know, 2021 was just kind of like, are we, aren't we, are we, like, you know, are we going to be able to get back on a stage? And then, like, we finally were, like, I
Good
think
old COVID.
July. Yeah, yeah, we all
It's
caught
like
COVID at some point, like,
yeah, you missed a big gap here. We recorded an EP called "Life to the Flame" as well in that time period.
so we,
So,
yeah, so we started recording that, I think, in between first and second lockdown. Then most of it got mixed, and then after the third lockdown, we recorded the end of it. So it's like a
yeah,
good
something along
7 month gap there, wasn't there? Like,
that.
so we managed to get the EP recorded, and I don't think we released that until like late last year, was it?
That was July because when
Oh yeah, because that was the
we got to headline the Key Club again, thankfully, and we used that was our EP night launch, which was a
yeah.
damn good gig. So we got to headline it twice. And after that, it's just we got a new bassist. Our old bassist Lewis left the band, and we got Jimmy joined the band, who's been a godsend. And, yeah, it's been really good. Yeah, now it's just getting as many gigs as we
Yeah.
can, and we're looking to record like tomorrow actually. I don't think I missed anything.
Excuse me.
We haven't missed anything else, have we, Luke?
Yeah.
Nothing that major, you know. We've got a new
Gigging, really.
bassist that's been like the rocket launcher up the arse that we needed, because it's like, you know, we got on stage, put on a killer show, but we'd never really actively pursued looking for shows. Like the shows that we were getting offered were getting offered to us, like we weren't actively pursuing it. Whereas he's kind of like very much go out get these shows, and then so we've literally been, I think we're like back to back now for the rest of the year, like shows on weekends, like midweek everywhere, like. So I think we're very optimistic about the future at the minute.
Cool. Cool. So you touched on a little bit about recording some new material. Has that been released, or you
Um,
planning on releasing it?
yeah,
Uh,
so we recorded two songs. One hasn't been played live yet, which is quite exciting, and the other's called Psychosis, which is probably the mainstay in our set list. Yeah, we're starting to record them tomorrow, but we don't know when it's going to be released yet. I assume a couple of months. Then yeah, we got plans to
yeah,
release a couple more songs later on as well. So try to get as many songs out as we can at the minute. Basically, there's no point just keeping it, really, is there?
Yeah.
So to get out there.
No. No. Yeah. We have a question from Bastian, and he says, when it comes up, he says, yeah, yeah, he says, where in the UK is the band from, and is it true guitarists need 6 pints of beer to play at their best?
Well, we're from Leeds, which is literally in Yorkshire, and for me it's only 2 pints because I'm a bit of a lightweight, so it's a lot cheaper for me.
I think last weekend or the weekend before when we won Metal to the Masses, I think I was at least 4 or 5 pints deep. So, like, I've never been ambitious enough to go for the 6th. I'm always fearful that if I have the 6th, it will push me over the edge and my timing will go everywhere. So
It's a very fine line, I
yeah,
find.
yeah,
Yeah.
and when you consume 6 pints of lager, you've got to think you're holding that in your stomach, and then you're obviously going to need a piss pretty quickly after it. And if you're doing a half an hour, 45 minutes set, like you've got to you've got to choose your moments really.
Thankfully, it's the stage like the
Yeah.
last one. You usually just sweat out after the first song. It was that bloody hot on stage, so that solves that issue.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. True. True. Yeah. So yeah. So you touched on a little bit about getting a few gigs lined up for the year, back to back, sort of like gigs across the year. Could you tell us a little bit about some of those gigs where so people can know where they're going to be like gigging at?
Well, our next one is at Key Club. We're supporting a band called Black Orchid Empire, which I'm looking forward to because it's been a while since we've been to Key Club or played there. And then after that, it's the Metal to the Masses final on the 13th of May, also at the Key Club. So we're very much looking forward to that. So hopefully we'll get to play Bloodstock if we win it. Touch wood.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
then what else? Well, we've got a fair few really. Then we've got one in York supporting our friends in the band called Pariah, who are really good. You should check them out. Good thrash band. Yeah, just all sorts really.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
just pulling up our calendar here on my second screen.
I kept looking at the whiteboard.
Yeah. Yeah, what have we got? So obviously we've
We
got
also got 360 Club as well at the library in Leeds. That's with Kill the Silence. That should be good.
yeah. I'm looking forward to playing that one with Kill the Silence. I've seen Kill the Silence probably about 5 or 6 times over the years. Like obviously on each other's radars, so I'm quite looking forward to playing that one. Yeah, we've got quite a few. I think we're playing York.
Twice. Yeah, twice actually.
Yeah, we're playing York in 4 weeks tomorrow, I think. So, and I don't think we've played York yet, have we?
No, I haven't. No,
So,
we'll have 2 gigs in like 3 weeks, so that's exciting.
yeah. So it's like we're here. If you like what you see, come back in 3 weeks, and hopefully you'll still like us then. Yeah, yeah. The Queen's Jubilee weekend is really busy for us. So like the Thursday, we're in York again. On the Thursday, we're in Wakefield, and then we're in Rotherham. So like it's still fairly local to like Leeds, but we're trying to expand out. Like so, obviously at the minute if we drive to like London, it's like I don't know 80 quid's worth on fuel for us, and we can't guarantee that we're actually going to see that or actually be in front of an audience of double digits. So
Yeah.
so at the minute we just kind
Yeah.
of
I
try
would like to
to
play London though.
yeah, I'd love to play London. It's just
Yeah.
trying to find a band that have got a reasonable following in an area that'd be open to having us play with them. So I don't want to say poach the fan base, but so we can acquire.
Yeah. 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 Uh, Sebastian says he sort of like to the last question he asked. Says so you're close to becoming legends then.
Well, we'd like to. We can wish. one day, hopefully.
I mean, like, I'd like to hope that we get in there, but I don't know how close to here and there is specifically. So, yeah.
Yeah.
The
True.
dream is to get there, though.
Yeah. Yeah. True. True. Yeah. So are you recording? Oh, are you writing any new material? In for upcoming more recordings and possible releases.
We got like a lot of ideas. Like I've got a few ideas I want to use. Like one that's quite hardcore inspired. But we have just literally just written a song which is called Your God, which we're all really proud of. Like Jimmy, the new bassist, came up with it, and like we always put in new ideas into it. And it's like sounding really good. We're all quite proud of it. So we are hopefully looking to record that if it goes well live and stuff.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
that's kind of been like a really standout song for us at the minute. Like you say, it's something that our bassist kind of brought to a practice room, and then like we've all added bits to it that I think are individually some of like the best bits that us as musicians have contributed to the band. So it's quite an exciting song for us to play. I'm really hoping we get to get that one recorded before the year's out.
Are you going to be there? Are you hoping to do an EP or a full blown album, or are you just going to be releasing singles?
I think we're not sure at the minute. We've got quite a lot of material. Like we've probably got about 6 or 7 songs that are ready to be recorded. It's just they're not quite like they don't follow on from each other. Like the 4 songs that are on the EP do follow on from each other. So you can tell that they were written in a similar time, or like Life to the Flame and NIMBY are they're not similar songs, but like they don't sound completely alien to each other. Like if you, it, I'm trying to explain it, but like it's like trying to put a song from Ride the Lightning onto like the Lord album or Saint Anger. Like they're from the same band, but they're very kind of stylistically different, or they were written in different ways, so they wouldn't work together on the same release. But still songs that we play live and get a good audience reaction from. So
Yeah.
like we've got a song Lady of Snakes at the minute, which is kind of I don't know how to describe it, but like it's got a lot of elements of different music in, but that probably wouldn't go well with one of our songs like Solace, which is quite a thrash metal song, I'd say. Uh,
Mm. Yeah,
so
we do a
yeah,
lot of like different sounds, don't we?
yeah, we're all inspired by drastically different types of metal. Like it's all under the same metal genre, but like we like so many different subgenres of metal that all of the influences kind of blend into the songs that we write, which kind of for which is why we've not kind of got to the album point of view yet. Like we've got enough songs to fill an album. It's just not for them to play back to back. Like it doesn't feel like a journey that should be gone to like that. Like if we release like 2 songs here that are kind of that kind of that complement each other, then people will get it more than if they were on an album. Sorry, that
Yeah,
was
plus
very long
So
winded.
it's yeah. So more than likely to either produce an EP or release singles.
yeah,
At the minute over an album.
yeah. So I think at the minute, like I sort of feel like it's better to like actually just release songs, and then when you've got enough for an EP, maybe put it on an EP then after the fact. But like, I feel like in this day and age, the way people listen to music, you don't really need to release your music as an album sort of thing that much anymore. It's probably better for like people to actually sit down and listen to it to do it like a single slimline. You can release more content in like a longer period of time, so you're not like waiting years for an album to come out, where you just release song after song and then or like release loads of singles from like an album rather than the old fashioned way we release like 2 songs. You got the entire album.
Yeah, it's also a kind of a
Right.
way of like.
But what?
Oh, sorry, no, I was just saying like it's kind of a way to keep like fan interest.
Mm.
Where
Yeah,
it's
that as well.
like
Yeah.
if you release single after single, then it's like release digest. instead of like 2 years in between albums. But
Yeah.
sorry.
Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. So, Sebastian has asked a question. He says, "Do you find the younger generation like to buy more single songs, rather than buying an EP or an album?"
To be honest, neither really. Unless it's like a vinyl, people don't really buy it anymore. You stream it. So like, your best bet is to try if you want to like build an audience, probably to like upload more regularly, so you got more chance of being put on like a big Spotify playlist. Like if you do an entire album, they pick one song from that. So like from like one release, you better release smaller things. But but if you can make like a sort of like a special vinyl or something, then people buy it because they're quite in right now. But yeah, I just like it's very hard nowadays because like people don't really buy music; they just get a Spotify subscription, which barely pays you anything. So it's like, yeah, that's my answer.
I heard. Yeah, I heard that Spotify pays something like 0.0005 pence per stream.
It's something ridiculous
It's
like that.
just,
Yeah, it is.
yeah,
It's a bit rubbish, but
it's
I
yeah.
think how much have we made from our Spotify? Is that about £5 for like?
I think it was about. I think altogether it's about £35. I ain't checked it in
Oh
a
wow,
while, but yeah,
35 quid's a lot more than I thought it was.
I'll pay off my student loan soon enough. So
Yes.
Yeah.
Settle my mortgage then before we go into.
Yeah. Where can people find you on social media?
Yeah, I think we're on
we're on everything at
everything
the minute.
now.
Yeah.
We're on Facebook, we're on Instagram, we've got TikTok, and we've got Twitter.
Yeah, we've got Twitter. I forget to update it. So watch this space for a good Godeth Twitter account. So
Yeah.
YouTube and that, but this is all the main ones really.
Yeah.
So are you? Right, you did mention you're on Spotify. Are there any other streaming platforms that you're on?
Yeah, we're on all of them. I think, yeah, so like so Apple, Amazon.
Apple, Deezer.
I think we're on
Still a
all of
thing?
them. Yeah, Deezer.
Yeah.
We're on Deezer. I think my dad uses it.
I think because
Yeah.
when we upload the release, we use, is it a management site we use, and it just goes to kind of everywhere.
I can't remember the official thing, but it's called Ditto. We use that, and like
Yeah.
they upload to everything. Like we're on like even I think we're on Chinese music streaming sites. So all the listeners in China, if you want to check us out, you can. And all that.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. If any of the viewers have any questions, ask away, because I'm going to be pretty much asking my last question of the interview. So, any advice for people who want to become musicians?
Probably just like practice, really. There's a lot of rejection joining and kind of presenting ideas. So like, I've been. This is probably like my 6th, 7th band. You don't get lucky straight away, really. Like, and also like you'll take an idea into a practice room, and not everybody's going to find it as amazing as you do. You got to learn to compromise. Like, what the band me and Dylan used to be in, like there was a guitarist there, and he was a fantastic musician, but wouldn't compromise, and the band fizzled out because of it. Whereas like we've been together for quite a while now, and we write a lot of stuff because we're willing to compromise with each other, and you just learn to read each other like that.
Yeah. Also, like make sure just like you're in it to have fun, really. So if you're not having fun, then like find ways to make it fun. So like if I'm having fun in the band, I won't bother. But like it's just make sure you, and also if you make a band, make sure you're with people who are like on the same wavelength as you, also cause arguments and stuff. Which thankfully everyone in Godeth seems to be. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd also
Cool.
say like sorry. Yeah, I'd also say like so
It's all right.
people as well that you're happy to socialise with. Like, what's different here from a lot of the bands I've been in is like, we'll have a beer together on a weekend, or like after we've played a gig, we'll stand around and have a beer because like outside of the practice room, we are also friends. Whereas like a lot of the time,
which what you want
other
really?
bands,
It's not like it's just like it's just a business. You
yeah,
want it to be like you want to be with your mates, which we'll all be at Luke's wedding next week. So
yeah, woo. Yeah. So yeah, that concludes my
Yeah,
advice.
cool. 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 So, thank you guys for coming on and doing this interview. And yeah, been absolute pleasure. Absolute pleasure talking to
thanks
you.
for having us. It's been
Yeah.
good. Thanks a lot for having us.
Yeah. Make sure, guys, to go and check out Godeth on all their social media and follow them. And yeah, make sure you do that. And yeah. So again, thank you so much, guys, for coming on and doing this interview. It's been an absolute pleasure.
No worries, it was fun.
Yeah, it's been good.
Yeah. Cool.